Hello again from my front porch. Well, actually, I'm here in my office at Waldinger. You can see I got see the TARDIS snowflake up there, but I'm sitting here. I've got my copy of my book here, and the reason I'm talking about my book is, well, obviously because I'm excited about the book. It comes out here in July, but here's an actual tangible. It's a real actual book. It's right here. But the reason that I'm talking about it right now is specifically because I am doing this little video interview with Halelly Azulay. Did I say the name right?
You said it very close to right.
Yeah, see, she's such a really close friend that I know almost close to how to pronounce her name. But I want you to meet Halelly. I'm gonna have you talk to her here I have her talk to you here in just a minute, because she actually is very instrumental in this book happening in the first place. This whole thing happened. That side, there we go. This whole thing happened because I did a presentation at the ATD International Conference and Expo on the topic of structure on the job training, and it went very well. Feedback was really strong, and after it got the feedback back, and it was really positive, and even feedback was saying things like, this is a great topic. We'd like to see more of this. But talking with Halelly, who had just actually come out with her own book that she'd come out with and had gone through the whole writing process. And she said, you know what, you ought to talk to ATD about whether they'd like to do a book on this kind of topic or not. And I thought, yeah, that's not something they'd want to do. Well, ta-da, yes, it was. It actually was something that they had already identified was a topic, a subject area that they didn't have hardly anything in, and yet it was an area that they identified was something they needed to be exploring more in. And so thanks to her recommendation is how the book even got started, how I started on the path in the first place. So thank you very much, Halelly, for that. And so with that, I'm gonna turn it to you and let you maybe introduce yourself with your actual pronunciation of your name. And then tell us a little bit about what you're doing with your consulting gig and your book stuff.
Okay, thanks, Paul. Yeah, so my name is very hard to spell and hard to say, and a lot of times I joke with the people that are in my workshops that they have to pass a spelling test if they want to get credit. They don't. So it's Halelly Azulay, and my business is Talent Grow, and what I do is I develop leaders that people actually want to follow, and I try to put an end to bad managers.
That sounds almost ominous.
Yeah, I don't want to end their life. I want to end their bad management skills.
That is sure. An important qualifier right there.
Yes, I agree. I should add that to my intro for sure. They're like the Grim Reaper of managers. I will come into your organization and I will seek them out. No.
And so now you have the book as well. What's the title of the book again?
My book?
Yeah.
My book is called Employee Develop. I should have a prop with my book. My book is called Employee Development on a Shoestring. Look at that. He's reaching onto his shelf.
All right, here, folks, ladies and gentlemen, here we go, right here. This is Halelly's book right here, Employee Development on a Shoestring. And this is an excellent book. See, I came prepared. I had your prop right here.
I love it so much. Thank you.
You know what? Well, and look, I even have it signed in here, which means, of course, I'm going to have to return the favor.
Oh, good. I look forward to it.
But anyway, so that's your book. Tell everybody about. Let's put in a plug for your book too, because this is still for sale too.
For sure. So let's see. Also published by ATD Press. It was ASTD Press when it was published. And this book is for leaders and those who support them, and also for employees who want to take charge of their own development, which is every one of us. And it's a guide for how to develop people outside of the formal learning, classroom, and e-learning. And so Paul's book is, I think, a great way to build onto what I've published, because in my book, I focus on 11 different methods that you could use to develop people on a shoestring budget and without a lot of extra work and extra costs and programmatic constraints. There's so many ways in which development can happen. And in fact, most of it happens outside the classroom anyway. So here are some ways that we can help support people to grow and learn, because most people say that they look for another job when they don't feel like they're growing and learning anymore.
Yeah, and actually, it's kind of funny that you say that because, well, it's not funny in an amusing way, but it's interesting that you say that because the structure of the job training program that we built at Waldinger that then was the starting point for me going down the whole structure of the job training path. But the program we built for the project managers, one of the reasons was because it was taking way too long for project managers to be trained. It was taking 5 to 7 years, and it was not really it wasn't structured in any way. It was very haphazard, very random, and as a result, we would have individuals who, as they'd hit that 5-year to 7-year time frame, they would feel like their career had stagnated, like they had plateaued, and that the company wasn't really advancing them at the speed or at the rate that they wanted to advance, and so they would just bail. They would go to they would think the only way I'm going to advance now is to go somewhere else. So after all of that time and investment put into them, they just leave. And they did so because they didn't feel like there was a road for them. Well, now this program that we have for our structure of the job training thing, of everyone who has participated in this program so far, graduated from it or participated, nobody has left who has been part of this program because they see here is exactly what the plan is. In fact, we've even had people actually accept job offers to come to work for us because they see this plan, and they're very excited about that. So there's a great deal. I've seen that play out in reality right here too, what you're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you read this great, excellent book that Paul has written,
what a good-looking book that is, too.
I love it. It's just gorgeous. You learn also that not only does it help develop the people that are participating as learners in the structured on-the-job training program, but also the ones who support them. So, for example, there's a role for mentors, and that's a great way to engage some of the more seasoned people on your team to create a way for them to feel engaged, involved, and to keep them learning, because mentoring is a skill set, and feeling like you're learning a new skill set and being challenged and pushed a little bit by giving you some structure, but also allowing you to do it on your own. That's exactly what this is all about. And so it's actually a two-pronged approach to keeping more people engaged.
Yeah, I like that though. What you're saying. I like here. Let's do it this way. So see, here's your professional bundle right here. There you go.
That's right. They go together.
So this one's already out there, and I assume this one. I know it's available through ATD, but I assume this one's also available on Amazon and Barnes and Noble and all those places too.
That's exactly right. Yep. Wherever good books are sold.
Good. That's a good way to put it, because guess where this one can be found. Which again, I keep telling people, maybe at some point I'll get used to it, but I keep telling people it's surreal, first of all, to have a book. Okay.
It really is.
But it's also surreal now that I can go out to Amazon and my book is there. I can go out to Barnes and Noble and my book is that's surreal.
It is. Congratulations and welcome to the club. It really is. It's such a satisfying feeling. A lot of people I talk to a lot of people who want to write a book. And after I wrote a book, a lot of people sought my advice, and I've suggested, similar to what I did with you, I have also encouraged other people. But I will tell you, Paul, you are part of a small group, because most people don't go through the challenging experience of pushing themselves like this. And so congratulations.
It definitely is a challenge. Journalism was my background, so it's not like I'm unfamiliar with writing, and I've written short stories, I've written scripts for plays and this kind of stuff, but I'd never written anything like this. And it was a lot more work than I expected it was going to be. It was a lot more stress than I was really prepared for. But looking back, I'm glad I didn't bail on it. I'm glad I saw it through, because it is very rewarding to have this now. But it was not necessarily a pleasant process getting there.
Well, nothing that's worth doing is easy, and the good stuff, if it was easy, everybody would do it, but it's the unique few that actually go to it. And you're adding value, because right now you're getting the pleasure of experiencing the physical presence of your work in the world, and that is very satisfying. But you haven't yet experienced the pleasure of talking to people who have benefited and implemented what you've written about. Wait, it's coming.
Well, and I really do look forward to that. Not out of some ego.
No, that's the point.
but because that's the whole reason I got into, because I started as a public school teacher, and now, for nearly 30 years now, I've been in a training education role of one kind or another. And people say, well, what keeps you going in that? What keeps driving that? And the whole reason I got into it in the first place, and the reason I stay into it, is because I really love it when someone I'm working with has that you see that light go on.
Yes.
And you see that they now become aware of something they didn't know before, and because of what they now know, they are going to be more successful. They're going to achieve something they couldn't do before because of what I did to help them learn that. And so then when I sit back and I watch them succeed, it makes me feel really proud. It makes me feel, almost a fatherly, paternal, sort of, yay, that's my kid.
Yeah.
So yeah, I look forward to that. I hope that does happen, that people will say that.
Absolutely will. I have no doubt.
Well, good. All right. Well, anyway, I wanted the world to meet you, because again, you're very, very instrumental in this happening, and hopefully some of those others that you've advised and talked to about writing a book will take you up to, because clearly you have a good track record.
Well, thank you. And I do feel a maternal pride in you. So good for you. Yay, Paul. Woo-hoo.
Yeah, I will say also that we didn't just meet because she's like, oh, you did a good presentation. We actually, we know each other from having been leaders of our local ATD chapters, presidents of our boards, and we've both served on national advisors for chapters. We've been involved with national level committee things. But where we originally crossed paths was we were both local chapter leaders at ATD has an annual conference that they do host out in DC. And at that time, Halelly was the president, or at one point there was president of the DC Metro chapter. And so they always got to host all the rest of us coming out there to do that. And so I wanted to mention that, because I also always love to put in a plug for joining ATD, especially the local chapter level. And look, folks, here are two former, well, you're probably still a member of your local chapter, maybe out in California now, but here's two local chapter members, local chapter leaders who now have written books and speaking at the ATD conference. And, it's amazing what being really involved with this organization can do for you personally and professionally. Absolutely.
One of the chapters in my book is that volunteering is a great way for learning.
Amazing, isn't it? Well,
that's so true.
This book right here. That's that one right there.
I think it's chapter 4, if I'm not mistaken.
Let's see. Okay, well now I have to put you on the spot and see if
I may not remember it by heart anymore.
Yeah, the taking time out, learning on a sabbatical. Oh no, see, chapter 3 was volunteering. You were so close, so close.
I need to re-review my book chapter order.
I'm looking at your table of contents here, and I'm thinking, that actually, I think that looks better than mine. That looks better organized than mine. I should have taken better notes.
Well, book 2.
Book 2. Yeah, it's funny. My boss actually, just the other day, we were in a conversation about some other project I'm working on now here at work, and he says, this is really great. This will be great for your when you do your next book. And I was like, excuse me.
Nice. I love it.
Let's recover from the first one first.
Well, one of my mentors who pushed me to write this book, I just was on the phone with her yesterday, Elaine Beek. I know you know her as well. I mean, she's like on book 80 something.
Yeah, well, and I talked to her at the ATD conference this year, and she said it's her goal that she needs to write 100 books before she dies.
Oh, and she will, because she's going to keep living for a long time, and she cranks out like 3 books a day. I was talking to her, she's like, oh, okay, well, when I get off the phone, I'm working on 2 books.
Oh, well, maybe she's capable of that. I could not.
Well, I think she only started in her 40s, if I'm not mistaken.
But she is an incredible woman.
Yeah.
So you've selected a very good mentor.
Thank you. I'm good at that.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to let you go because this is already probably lengthy. I'm going to let you go from my front porch. Well, we're not even on the front porch, but you get the idea. We're at my front porch extended edition. I don't know, whatever we're called. Anyway, but thank you again for joining today. It's a pleasure chatting with you about this. So I'll see y'all next time from my front porch.